On the show today, I'm sharing with you the 4 P's that are pivotal in breaking free from controlling thoughts and behaviors. And no, girl, perfection isn't one of them. I promise you're gonna love today's show. And if you've been thinking, how am I ever going to free myself, from my thoughts, from my feelings about myself, from my body, from food, then today, sis, is for you. Let's get right into today's episode. Here we go. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsay Nickel, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess trapped in a destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom, and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it so you can start living your best life as your best self. I was sitting planning for today's show and really thinking about how you're going to really find freedom, how you're going to really break free. I talk about this multiple times. I do almost every other episode on the possibilities and the inspiration. And I give you so many different scenarios and different exercises you can do to help you through your food freedom and recovery process. And I know that it's constant, probably in your ear when you're listening to me being there, motivating you and getting you ready for your day or meeting you where you are in your day. And it can be hard when maybe you don't feel motivated. It can be really hard when you're not in the mindset to listen to an uplifting show. It can be hard when you just want to be upset. You want to be struggling. You want to feel all those things because that is a comfortable place that you're used to. And even though you might not want to sit in that, you're good at it, right? Especially if you have an eating disorder. The self-pity, the self-harm in terms of restricting our food, the behaviors that we do, the controlling and the nagging voice that's in our head, it's debilitating. And while I do hope the show is super insightful for you and it gives you so much joy and inspiration, I also want to let you know that there is power in actually letting go. There's power in that. And it's more than just talk. It's more than just listening. You actually have to apply these things that we talk about week after week. Today, when I was sitting down preparing, I was like, I have this tool that I'm going to bring off the shelf to help you get through your week. And so I want you to leverage these 4 P's that are absolutely pivotal. See what I just did there? And breaking free from controlling thoughts and behaviors that are chaining you in your life currently. And no, perfection isn't on the list. Let's get started. Number 1 is patience. Recovery, freedom, all of it. It requires so much patience. It requires understanding. It requires compassion and grace. An understanding and patient mind for yourself, an understanding and patient mind for others. If you feel like you just want to be so much further along and you don't know, you feel like, I don't even know what's wrong with me. I just sit in this place and I wallow in it and I listen to you. And yes, it's very motivational, but I just don't know what to do. The truth is you do know what to do. And that's okay if you're feeling paralyzed and you're feeling trapped. But a pivotal thing that you must do in order to finally break free from these controlling thoughts is to give yourself some patience. Being a beginner is okay. And I'm going to do a whole other episode on how you need to start being a beginner again. I know that's really hard for our high performing ears to hear, for those of us who are perfectionists or retired perfectionists, for those of us who want to do it right, whether that is when we're in our eating disorder, whether that is limiting all the things, where that is counting all the calories or the fat grams or doing the scale, whatever that is, you've always wanted to do it right. Am I right? I was there too. I always wanted to be right. I always wanted to be first. I always wanted to be winning. I never wanted to be failing or losing because that meant something about me. But patience, friend, is the key, because you're going to be a beginner. Maybe you've done this a couple times now, but think of this recovery. You've never been able to trust yourself, okay, truly, because you've been living under this false rock with this false attachment to an eating disorder that has been feeding you lies, maybe for years. It's going to require time. It's going to require patience. Without patience, you can't and you won't change, because patience requires pause. Pause. And in our world and in our culture, we don't want to wait for anything. I mean, think about the freaky fast deliveries and all that we encounter on the daily. Information overload. When's the last time you've paused and given yourself grace? A lot of times patience is the absolute hardest thing to do, and you just want to snap your fingers. You want it to be done. You want to be in recovery, whatever that means, right? You want to gain weight, or maybe you're still struggling with you never want to gain weight, but you realize you might need to get better. And so you have no patience with the process. You have no patience with yourself or anyone around you. Sister, if I'm speaking to you today, in order to break free from you controlling you, you have to give yourself patience. It's a gift. I'm the most impatient, or used to be the most impatient person. I just wanted everything yesterday. And part of the season of waiting, part of the season of going through something, part of the recovery process is patience and grace. Number 2, you've heard me talk about this one on multiple episodes, is permission. Permission. It's one of my favorite words, because recovery, change, transformation, whatever we want to call it, can't occur without self-permission, without giving ourselves permission. Permission to let go, permission to let be, permission to let in, permission to eat, and permission to gain weight if we need to, and permission to seek help and support when we're feeling out of control, permission to surrender, and permission to not be perfect, and permission to not know the plan, and permission to nourish your body, permission to like who you are, even if you don't right now, permission to start over, permission to forgive your past, permission to get over what others have done in your life, permission to stop living in that place, because in order to accept the experience, we have to grant and give ourselves permission. In order to find who you truly are, that is completely separate from these thoughts and these behaviors that are keeping you here, you have to grant yourself permission. In order to find peace, the peace that you're after, the peace that surpasses all understanding, you have to give yourself permission. Number 3 is persistence. Being persistent is being firm in a course of action, in spite of difficulty, in spite of opposition, in spite of challenge. And I absolutely love the word persistence. The same persistence and rigid acts without wanting to fail got you here. In fact, that's what got me in my battle with anorexia. I was one determined individual. But one of the best tools in the process to freedom is utilizing that same drive, that same determination, that same persistence to get you out of the hole that you dug yourself in. Because if you want to change your behaviors, if you want to change your habits, you must do so consistently with a vengeance. And that's essentially what persistence is. Persistence is always rewarding, and it's key. It's the difference in those who quit and those who don't. Because you're going to wake up every day and you're not going to feel motivated. And you're going to have days where you knock it out of the park, and you're going to have days where you feel heavy and you want to give up and you're just tired. But girl, if you can be persistent for one more day, if you can hold on for one more moment, if you can believe there's a way out by just continuing to put one foot in front of the other and moving through the process, you'll find what you're looking for. And the last P for today's show is purposeful. Your purpose This has to be larger. It has to be greater. It has to be bigger. It has to be more than just a want in your heart or a desire to be healthy. The word purpose actually means one's reason, one's intent for doing, for being, for acting. And the key to prevention is purpose. For a while, your eating disorder, it gives you a false sense of belonging. You truly feel like your purpose here is to control all of your food. And therefore, you are controlled, which is why you're here. Am I right? But when we can recognize that that's superficial, God didn't put you here on this planet to manage calories and to cut your food into pieces. God didn't put you on this planet to restrict to the point that you're crying because you want freedom from this, and it is impacting every single relationship around you, including your body and your own self-well-being. That's not your purpose. Your purpose is so much greater than that. And when people talk about purpose, they actually talk about something that you find in your lifetime. And I actually found this incredible quote, and it truly hit me. And I know that it is going to bless you today. I want you to let this sink into your soul. The biggest lie about your purpose is that you find it. You don't find purpose. You choose purpose. You don't find freedom, sister. You choose it. Oh my gosh, I just literally get chills when I sit here and I read that to you. Because every single day you have to hold on to something that is bigger than you. And when you know that you're separate from this eating disorder, when you know you're separate from the disordered relationship that you have with food, you can be unapologetically unafraid to be who you truly are. And when you can start finding you, when you can start understanding the way that you like things, the way you don't like things, it's so much larger than food. This is self-identity. When you can look and go, you know what? I only go to this gym because I can take that HIIT class and burn more calories. But when you can go, I really hate that freaking class and I really hate that type of food, but I've been doing it for so long that I'm believing that it's something I have to do in order to achieve this false narrative, in order to achieve this false belief or image or whatever it is, and I'm still freaking miserable. When you can take a step back and unplug, you're not finding anything. You already are. You're who you should be. It's jaded right now, and that's okay, and there's no shame there. But the biggest lie that you might be believing is that you just don't know what to do and you don't know who you are, and you don't have a purpose because you feel unworthy of one. You don't find your purpose. You choose your purpose. What choice are you choosing today, girl? What choice are you choosing? Are you choosing to stay stuck in this place that isn't serving you? Are you choosing to stay chained and controlled because it just is what it is and you know it and it's like this little BFF on your shoulder? Or are you making a choice to do better because you know better, because you're persistent? Rochelle Goodridge actually said, to persist, you must treasure the dream more than any amount of cost that you will sacrifice in order to obtain it. That's where you're going to find your freedom. When freedom to you from disordered eating, when the pain of staying here is so much worse than not knowing where there is yet, when your dream to break these chains from food and your thoughts controlling your life is so much bigger and so much larger that you will sacrifice any and everything to get that, that's when you're going to experience freedom. And that's when I did. And the day that it wasn't like this pivotal memory in my mind that I just completely surrendered every single thing and woke up and was completely free. It was every day I made a choice. I knew I was here for so much more. My brain capacity was spending so much time and energy that I wasn't even feeding enough carbs for it to function. And yet I'm sitting here trying to manipulate all these things for what? I was tired of it. I'm sure you're tired of it too. I was so tired of being tired. I was so tired of not being perfect and realizing that it didn't exist, that I had a distortion in my mind, and that was okay. It is what it was, and it served me for a season. And I could be patient with myself, and I could grant myself the permission to be okay with me, no matter what that meant. If you're still putting rules on what healthy means to you, or recovery means to you, or being okay means to you, or what you will allow and what you won't, on what foods are good and what foods are bad, then friend, you're still living in a place that's not choosing you and your purpose. To persist, you must treasure freedom more than any amount of cost that you will have to sacrifice in order to obtain it. What does that look like for you today? What does that look like for you? I hope this message has brought so much love into your heart, and I can't wait to hold you by the hand and just hear from you. I have so many messages in my inbox. I got one the other day, and to keep the person anonymous, I will not go into details, but it truly moved me just to hear how much my message changed the trajectory of her life. I'm so excited that I get to work with some of you every single week. I'm so excited that I get to know about your life and I get to help support you through this struggle. I'm so excited that I chose to find a purpose of my life and that I no longer was chained to something that was killing me. And I'm passionate about it because I could have stayed there. And now I'm here, and I'm here to tell you that the only way out is through. And persistence always has a reward. Perfection isn't attainable. But in order to find a pivotal piece, in order to find what exactly it is that you're looking for, you have to do these 4 things. Come join us if you haven't yet in our private Facebook community. And if you're looking to experience this purpose, this choice to continue forward in life, if you are tired of playing these dumb games that just aren't working, and you want to be able to know what it's like to grant yourself that permission to live and to thrive, send me a client application, fill it out on the website at lindsaynickel.com, and I will get you on my calendar ASAP so that we can get you into working one-on-one with me. Bye for now. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time, bye for now, girl.